What are you doing?
So I had this vision of flying the drone over HQ for the opening of the podcast, but our HQ is too close to Disneyland and we can't take off.
Damn.
Always fucking something.
Spread good, baby.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 1 of the Spread Good podcast. I'm your host, Brody Nicholas, and I'm with my good friend and fellow Spread Good squad member, Nick Ordonez. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. Happy to be here. Spread Good Squad HQ is looking dope.
It's coming along. It's coming along.
Carpet feels good on my toes. This is awesome.
Bro, it's crazy. You know, like we've done a lot together over the last few years plus. Built a lot of different things, tried a lot of things, failed at a lot of things, succeeded at some dope shit. Mm-hmm. Did you ever think that we would be podcasters?
No way. We've met up at coffee shops, bars, restaurants, my place, your place. We'd always talk business, but now we could do it here. This is awesome.
Bro, that's how I feel, because to be honest, we've done so much the last year, and every time we do go out to that bar, that coffee shop, I feel like we're always chopping it up on some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, let's just lay it out. Maybe somebody wants to listen, tag along. So I'm hyped to be here, man. Like you said, it's gonna be a fun adventure.
Yeah, I'm excited. So let's take a shot.
All right. Well, I guess the foreplay's over. So let's do this. Let's do this. What are we sipping?
I don't know. We're not sponsored, so
we're not sponsored, so we're not saying what we're sipping. But
you can probably guess.
Okay, well, I guess we are gonna just get the engines going, huh?
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
That's good. That's good.
It was great.
So,
better if we were sponsored.
I agree with that.
So why do you want to start this podcast?
A big reason I wanted to start this podcast is not only to highlight people all over the world spreading good, but I wanted people to know who we are. You know, we've been in the nonprofit sphere for a long time now, which led us to starting the Spread Good Squad. And even though we've known each other quite a bit, I want to take it back and get everybody to know who you are, man. So who are you? Where are you from? Where's your family from? How do you spread good?
So, my name is Nick. I'm from Long Beach, California. My family is from the Philippines. I was born here. My brother was born here. I got involved with nonprofits because of my brother. My brother, Jonathan, 11 months older than me. He was born with Down syndrome, so my whole life has been about supporting him, helping him. My parents the same. To this day, they take care of him. And he's a big inspiration to a lot of the things that I do. You know, the company that I started a couple years ago, a book that I wrote a couple years ago, the whole reason why I work in the nonprofit sphere and why I wanted to be involved with Spread Good. It's all because of him. So he is definitely the biggest inspiration in my life. And, you know, I think there's a lot of people that I've talked to over the years, especially in nonprofit, who draw the same inspiration from people like my brother, people battling cancer. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. And that's why I love what Spread Good does, what we do with the nonprofit. But at the same time, it's difficult. It's not easy. And I think that's one of the things we want everyone to realize, how difficult this is. But yeah.
Like you said, it's tough. It's tough out there. You know, a lot of people don't really see the inner workings and the back end of a nonprofit. But with that being said, I want to take it back. You mentioned, you know, your first company, your book. Let's start with the first company, Jet Set. I think that's kind of how we got to know each other, right?
Yeah. So I started Jet Set 6 years ago. And when I started Jet Set, it was all inspired by my brother, inspired by my love of traveling. One of the things that in my early 20s, I started to travel a lot more with my girlfriend, who's now my wife. And one of the things that I always thought about when I was traveling is like, I wish my brother could be here with me and experience the things that I'm experiencing. So that was inspiration for why I started Jet Set. And, you know, when I started Jet Set, it was, I need to donate. I need to be part of something bigger than just selling dope products. So that's when I talked to a friend, our mutual friend, and he introduced us. And ever since then, I met you, I've been donating, and then we got closer and closer.
Absolutely, man. I want to bring it back to that too, which
Yeah.
is really cool. Is like you said, a mutual friend of ours, actually a friend from middle school for me, back from my hometown. Shout out Rockland, California. But we got introduced via Instagram, I think, right? Because
Yeah,
again, Nick wanted to get involved with the nonprofit. He had this really dope company, Jet Set. And what's really cool is he talked about his girlfriend, who's now his wife. I was actually at your wedding. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
But I was there because even though I did not know Nick at the time, I actually dropped my friend from middle school off at the wedding because I was living in LA at the time, and that's where the wedding was.
Yeah.
And so I actually really needed to go to the bathroom. So I actually walked around Nick's wedding for about 15 minutes.
You should have just crashed it. You should have just came through, got a shot with me.
Yep. I think we're taking a lot of shots now, so we made up for it. But more weddings to come together for sure. But man, that was a great wedding. I enjoyed the whole 15 minutes I was there. But with that being said, man, I've spent a lot of time with Shell. Actually, for everybody listening in, again, Nick's part of the nonprofit that I started. But before Nick got involved, Shell was actually really involved with our nonprofit. She actually helped coordinate a few of our events. She volunteered. She helped with donor outreach. She did a bunch for us. And I just, definitely want to chat about her a little bit.
Yeah, my wife is at home with the kids holding it down. I think she's a big inspiration for what I do with Spread Good and the nonprofit. And definitely she's been part of the nonprofit, helping you out. She's helping me out every day. And she has her own company, Love and Life Events. Look them up online. They have 5-star reviews. You can use the code Nick is the shit. You get a discount. You might not get a discount, but just tell my wife I sent you. Anyways, she has always been part of everything that I've done. She has been part of the nonprofit, and yeah, she's just a big inspiration. And I know your girlfriend, hopefully future wife, is also one of your big inspirations. And I feel like that is something that's really important to us as people, all the people that support us.
100%, man. Nick and I, honestly, we go out a lot. We travel a lot. A big topic is Shell. For him, a big topic for me is Katie. Seriously, they really hold it down for us. I know I'm really grateful for Katie. I talked to him all about it because we really do live some crazy lives.
Yep.
We travel all over the world. We run multiple businesses. We're out here really trying to help people in different ways. And we have these amazing people at home that not only hold it down at home, but they push us to be ourselves, which I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, yep. And they help with all the things that we struggle with. Mm-hmm. Being part of a nonprofit, like we talk about all the time, everyone's expecting you to go above and beyond. And sometimes you just can't for your own mental. And they really help us with that. It's priceless what they do for us.
100%, man. Yeah, just getting the outsider's view, especially even though they've been so involved throughout the process over the years, is priceless. It's priceless.
Yeah.
And I also want to talk about your book.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the book.
So, Halo Effect. I wrote this book about my brother. I had been thinking about writing a book about him and our relationship together for many, many years. So I wrote this book about my brother. He has been, like I said, the biggest inspiration in my life. And it just talks about how not only did he inspire me, but there were a lot of struggles when we were growing up. There was, a time when I didn't think he was going to make it. So, if you want to get it on Amazon, get it on Amazon. That's my book.
I like it. The book is great. You talk a lot about growing up with Jonathan, but a big thing too is your parents are from the Philippines, and there was some heavy stuff going on back then too, right? With your mom.
Yeah.
I know in the book she was in an accident while your dad was here in the States. That must have been crazy, and the fact that they powered through that, it's kind of crazy, man, that all happened before either of us were even on this earth.
Yeah, and I think back to that a lot when I talk to all the different people we work with in the nonprofit sphere. Just being parents, going through whatever you're going through, it's just crazy. And then I know some crazy stuff happened with your mom a couple years ago, and we talked a lot about that. For sure, man. Yeah, a few years ago, my mom was in a really bad car accident, and it was during COVID time. And I just got done working out, and I get home and I have a voicemail, and it says hey, we just got this lady in the hospital. We think it's your mom. And there's no way it's my mom because I just talked to her a few hours ago.
Long story short, it is my mom, and they said, hey, just prepare yourself because she is not responsive at the scene, so we don't even know if we're gonna like take her back or anything. And so that's when it just hit me that I was just in like fight or flight mode. Flight or fight, is that what it's called?
Fight or flight.
Who knows at that point, right? I was just in fight or fight mode, and Katie, you know, just drove me up to Sacramento where they live, and yeah, it was such a fucked up time. I didn't have my shoes on. I got there with no shoes, the hospital, and you know, basically because of COVID, we weren't able to be there with her, so we only got to spend time with her when she was end of life, and she was end of life 3 or 4 times, and every single time it was end of life to say goodbye, her numbers would go up. She would show that she was still here, you know, and. Yeah, it just goes to show that, you know, studies actually show this. If you're actually with somebody going through trauma, even if they're in a coma or they can't talk, it really does help them. So long story short, they told me at best my mom would be a vegetable if she even ever woke up from this. But she did, and she's actually a full functioning human. She's back to her old self completely. She has no mental issues. She has her full memory. She travels down here all the time. She's been to HQ as well when your parents came. So it's
taking pictures with my bro.
Yeah, taking pictures with your brother. So yeah, man, it's a crazy life, but it gave me a crazy perspective because running the nonprofit for so long, we've always been there for the people going through the trauma and the hardship. So I'll never forget when my mom got in her accident, people were hitting me up asking if they could send me DoorDash gift cards. And I didn't even know how to take it because it's like, yo, my mom got in an accident. I didn't go bankrupt. You know what I mean? But I really, that's how I felt. I was like, thank you, but I could feed myself. And I'll never forget a friend. She got me like a burrito and some fries. She sent it to the house, and she said, it's not about the money. It's about us doing these things for you so you can make those decisions for your mom. So you can take that mental capacity and not worry about ordering your meal that day. It's about focusing on making decisions for your mom because she can't speak for herself right now. You're her advocate. And it's so crazy that I had done this for so many people all these years.
That's exactly what you did for people.
I didn't know. I just thought like, oh, sending DoorDash is nice. That's what we should do.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the nonprofit sphere or just helping people, it goes deep. Yeah. And it really, really helps people get through a hard time. And like I said, I almost blacked out the whole time. I was so zoned in, like all the doctor meetings, all the decisions, all the things that we had to make happen for my mom because time was everything. And the fact that we're on the other side now, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Definitely. But it also makes me think of all the people that we support through the nonprofit. They're all in that mode, like survivor mode. Nothing else matters. And sometimes it's hard to talk to them because all they're thinking about is they want their child to be better. So that's what it makes me think of, like
100%.
Everyone's going through something.
Yep.
But I think what I always think about with our nonprofit is all the good times, all the crazy things that we've done that, I mean, we built a basketball court for a kid.
Right.
Like, who could say that?
Right.
Like a $40,000 basketball court for a kid. Who else has done that?
Dude, 100%. That trip was wild. Shout out Grady. Grady's Gladiators.
Sorry, Celtics.
I know, right? But with that being said, what's been your favorite trip that we've gone on? Because again, we've traveled a lot. We've done a lot of cool spread good projects. What's been your favorite one?
I mean, there's Hawaii. When we went to Hawaii, I never met the girl before she passed, but her whole family was amazing. Bringing Disney to her, unforgettable. Grady's trip was up there too. But for me, the trip that I will never forget that was really life-changing was when we went to Austin for Emory.
For sure. And tell everybody at home who Emory was, how that all unfolded.
So Emory is a little girl that I met a couple months ago. I met her and her dad on Zoom. I got really close to her dad because, I've had hundreds of Zoom calls with families over the years for the nonprofit. This is the only one that I had where it was a dad and his daughter, and that was it. It's usually always the moms. Sometimes it's the mom and dad, but this was a dad and his daughter. They were watching Bluey, just like me and my daughter would. They just reminded me of me and Evie, my oldest daughter, and I fell in love with them. Like, they were family. He was telling me about all the different things that he had gone through. he was telling me about his wife who had just passed away a couple months prior to a car crash. So that was difficult. And he was telling me about all the things he was struggling with. And I could identify with everything that he was saying. And I just thought it was like he became a friend after that call. And, you know, a couple months later, after we started planning for her campaign, we wanted to make a dream come true for Emery. He called me kind of in a panic. He wouldn't talk to anyone else in our organization. And yeah, I remember him just saying, I don't know how to say this, but I have cancer. And to me, yeah, I had no idea what to say. I had no idea why I was one of the first people he told. But yeah, to this day, it hurts to hear, because I could hear him saying, like, I have cancer. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going to happen next for Emery. And the first thing I said was, like, if you want us to, like, do our campaign later, we could do it later. We don't have to do it now. But he said, no, please make this dream come true for Emery. So a couple days later, he passed away. And then, yeah, a couple months later, we made Emery's dream come true. I still talk to Emery's grandma to this day. She texted me a few days ago with pictures of Emery, and she's always supporting us. And it's just like that trip, even though it wasn't crazy, it was just meeting them, being around Emery and her grandma. It just was life-changing, like I said. And it just puts into perspective what we do. Mm-hmm. Like, this is important. Mm-hmm. This is important for Emery. This is important for her grandma. Her whole family was there. This is important for her mom and dad who had passed away. So, yeah, that's the most memorable trip I have. It's kind of sad, but what about you? What's the most memorable trip for you?
No, that one was great. That one was really special. I have, honestly, too many to even think about which one was my favorite because they've all been so epic. I will say the last trip that we've gone on for Grady's basketball court was crazy. You know, we've never done a goal this big to build a custom basketball court in this kid's backyard. We flew all the way to Boston, drove to New Hampshire, and not only did we get the court built, but I think it was like 150 people that came out. Yeah. It was crazy. We had like reporters there. This was just on the next level, a new level. We had music, we had a DJ, and I'll be honest, usually we're running around coordinating all that. We just had a squad there. The Spread Good squad really pulled up for us, and I'm just grateful for moments like that, to be able to just be present with the families. Like, we were drinking with the dad. It was great. Shout out Jeff, It was fun. It was great. And I think that's something too that I want to talk about throughout this podcast is, we're humans. Like, I think you remember when we left, I was almost in tears because I miss them so much. Like, you go to these tiny little towns all over the United States and you spend just 5-6 hours with somebody, but it's like you just known them your whole life, and like leaving those towns, it's like, when am I going to come back? And I think that's what's really hard for me that I'm trying to get better at. But I mean, I want to go back to Iowa. I want to go back to New York. I want to go back to Jersey. I want to go back to Florida. I want to go back to all over the place just to hang out with these people that we got to meet.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things I love but also hate is we get so close to these families, and they text us all the time, but it takes a lot of energy to be best friends with every family that we meet. It takes a lot of energy to travel all over the U.S., making every kid's dream come true, and then having to make another kid's dream come true tomorrow. And that's, I think, as much as I love that, it's difficult. And I wish people would see that and realize that it's not easy for us when we have our own families, we have our own businesses to run, to do all of this and just, put all of our energy into it.
Yeah, no, it's really tough because, we talk about it all the time is like, we actually love this. We love spreading good. We love helping people, but at the cost of what? Yeah. Right. And we both hit some really tough walls in the business with this organization. And, that's something that I've been doing a lot of soul searching the last few months on, how I feel about charity, how I feel about giving back. and I'm never going to stop. No matter how many times I might get burned or how mad I might get at certain things, I'm never going to stop. But I think we both have to realize we have to hold each other accountable, which I know we've been doing, is realizing giving back, spreading good. It's a big part of us, but it's not all of us.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, we have families, we have friends, we have other ambitions. Like I want to go travel more. And it's funny because even when me and Katie go on a trip, I am trying to find somebody that I could like surprise, or a homeless person I can give money to, or a cancer patient we can meet up with. Like, I'm not going to lie, that's just in my DNA.
Spread good is a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle, right? But at the end of the day, there has to be that boundary. Is it a passion? So yeah, I'm going to do that on my free time. But I think I've done a bad job. I don't even know if it's called a bad job, but I feel like for myself, for the public, for people we associate with, I've just set false expectations because people see me at every single event, at every birthday party, at everything. And don't get me wrong, I love doing it. But at scale, helping hundreds, thousands of families, I physically can't be in New York and then in Orlando the next day and then in Texas the next day. Again, like I don't even go to all my family's birthday parties.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not that I don't want to do those things. It's physically impossible. And that's where I've been trying to draw the line of like, how can I articulate that like I actually want to be at every single thing, but we physically can't. And it doesn't mean we don't care. It doesn't mean that we don't want to be there. It just means that like sometimes I just want to go hang out with my girlfriend or hang out with my friends and drink beer. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to say that.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it's hard. We talk about it so much, but there is no real solution.
Yeah.
There's no solution for us to make everyone's dream come true and also be happy in our own lives. Mm-hmm. We need to find a balance, just like everyone else does.
100%. I think that's a really good way to end this episode is balance. That's something that I know you're working on, I'm working on. We're holding each other accountable.
100%. Balance is everything for us.
For sure. So, that's what we're going to be talking about on this podcast, is how to balance things, right? Running the Spread Good Squad, running the nonprofit, spending time with our family, our friends, chasing other passions. Because the reality is, I think it is in our DNA, we just love building shit. Mm-hmm. And we love helping people and we love just doing what we do, creating content. I mean, the Spread Good Squad in itself, I mean, we have the clothing line, we have the podcast now, we have our series, we have HQ that we have families come check out. There's a lot going on, and we want to take you behind the scenes this season to show you a little bit about what we do here at the Spread Good Squad.
And if you want more balance, we need to take another shot.
Is that how that works?
Yep.
All right, I'm done. I am easy on the sales. Wow, now you get it.
You first.
Oh, I know why you got a third glass.
Yeah.
Because we sell merch. So if you like this podcast, if you liked us, if you didn't like the podcast or didn't like us, still click on the link, spreadgoodsquad.com. We got the long sleeves, Spread Good. Long sleeves?
Yeah.
We
got the happy face.
Happy face. We got the happy face hats. We got the hoodies. We got the tees. We just dropped the Uni tee, the Spread Good Uni tee. Check it out. And the next episode, you're going to get to meet who makes that. Oh, did I give up too much?
Nope.
All right. Next episode, you're going to get to know who Jason is. But because Nick has poured 3, if you stuck around this long, give it up for yourselves because we got Jason coming on set. What's up, Jason?
Here he comes.
Hey.
Camera.
Hey.
What up?
Oh yeah, this one's dropping too.
Take a shot.
The puff Spread Good.
This is
really, really dope. So anyways, again, next episode, you're going to get to know Jason. He does a lot of really cool stuff for the Spread Good Squad. But in the meantime, take shots.
Talk shit.
Spread good.
Till next time, guys. Oh, also, we're new to this whole, as I say, vlogging. we're so new to the vlog podcast.
MySpace.
Yeah, we're so new to MySpace. No, seriously, we're so new to podcasting. I don't even watch podcasts, if I'm being completely honest. I just started watching them a couple weeks ago because I wanted to do this. Anyways, I think it's like if you like this video, throw a thumbs up, subscribe.
And hit the bell button. There's a bell button.
Oh yeah, too. Hit the bell button. That's how they
I don't
say
know what
it.
that fucking means.
Yes, we are learning, but if you liked any of that, please do those things because we're stoked to keep these episodes coming. Thanks, guys. Keep spreading good.
Venmo me.
I think we did good.
Yeah. I think it's going to get better and better.
Exactly.
But Venmo
I
me
fucking hope, man.
$10,000 and we'll make another one.
Spread good, baby.